Hey, Left to Hover here. Thanks for coming out to the range and checking out the update video. On my last full-length review, we had problems with the red dot sight that broke, the trigger pull being extremely heavy for a single action 1911 type pistol, and the worst of all, or what bothered me the most, was the slide stop slide release was causing problems. The slide would not lock back on the last round. So I've been able to fix all those three problems. First of all, that red dot that came with the gun was junk. That got trashed. After 4 shots, it broke. Right now, I've got this SIG Romeo Zero on here. And I'll first tell you the 3 things I don't like about it. 1, it's plastic. 2, the battery's mounted on the bottom, so to replace the battery, you have to take the optic off to replace it. And 3, the on-off interface, or the button or switch, is all the way up in behind the glass there, and when you get your finger on the button to turn it on or off, you're putting your fingers on the glass, so then you got to clean the glass, and it's not easy to reach the button. So between all those 3 things, I don't care for it, but it's an interim fix. I'm going to get a hollow sun and put that on there eventually. The second thing was the trigger. Trigger pull was probably around 10 pounds out of the box, which really is terrible for a 1911. So I brought this to my local gun shop, gunsmith, and he got it down to about 5 pounds, which is reasonable now. It's actually pretty nice. And then the last thing was that slide stop slide release. When I did bring it to the gunsmith, the first thing he said when he looked at it was, "Oh, well, you have the incorrect slide stop in here. The one that's in here is for a single stack. That's why it's not engaging or being engaged by the follower, holding it up enough to keep the slide locked back." So I contacted Girsan EAA, and all I got was a runaround, basically. So what they told me was, the way their system works, I would have to send it in at my own cost, and oh, by the way, you have to send it through a licensed FFL. So that in itself, I think, adds probably about $100 to the mailing, and for something that was supposed to be a budget gun, I'm not feeling like this is really a budget project any longer. So I had asked if they could just send me the correct slide stop, and they really told me I didn't know what I was talking about. There's no way they could put a wrong slide stop in there. So then I asked, rather than sending it in, can I just buy a slide stop, and how much is a slide stop? They said, okay, well, look online, you can order it, and we'll send it to you. The slide stop was $20, $10 shipping. So $30, I got the slide stop. I put it in there myself. It works fine now. So I think I've got all the problems worked out. Thanks for watching, and we'll get to do a little bit of shooting here. Super Bowl Sunday. Pretty quiet out here, and we'll check it out and see how it runs today. Thanks for joining me. Just so you can see what I got loaded up: Winchester white box, 9mm, 115 grain, just the bulk pack. We'll get it loaded up here. Here we go. No problems, and it locks back. Look at one last magazine with, got 10 rounds. We'll test this one out now. Okay, works well. Holds back on the last round. Trigger pull is good. Red dot's working. So I'd just like to say thanks for joining me. Really appreciate the thumbs up. It helps the channel. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Come on back to the range. And as always, if you're ever in Lower Alabama, stop by and come to the range and do some shooting with me.